you can obviously see, spatially, the WNBA obviously has grown. And, from winning the Commissioner's Cup, shout out to the Minnesota Lynx. They did what they needed to do tonight to get the job done. And I hope that the New York Liberty has learned from this game and to take that and to use that as motivation to say, hey, okay, this was just a Commissioner's Cup. Oh, well, we need the WNBA title. That's what's on our mind. We need to have that championship mindset to go ahead and beat the Las Vegas Aces to actually not have them get a three-peat. So give us your thoughts and opinions. Do you think the New York Liberty actually has what it takes to become a WNBA champion? What you think about that one, Spacey?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Winning an in-season championship is big because it lets us know that currently, right now, you got another championship mindset. You ready to win it all, but can you? Are you going to be able to overcome Asia Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces because they are the current champion and they aren't here for show? As we've seen in the last previous games, Asia Wilson has been balling out. She's showing everyone that she wants to be the face of the WNBA, and you cannot deny her that. So she is the biggest hurdle along with her team to get over the hump. I just don't feel that they have what it takes to beat the Las Vegas Aces. Now, if they can, they will definitely show that they are they're a championship team. But until then, it remains to be seen. But all my WNBA fans, let us know in the comments below. Do you feel like the current Commissioner Cup champions have what it takes to go and take down the Las Vegas Aces? Let us know in the comments below.
Definitely here at Up Top Podcast. You heard it first. So, of course, going into more of the WNBA news, some obviously breaking news we heard. Unfortunately, one of the top rookie draft picks for the Los Angeles Sparks, unfortunately, her season has come to an end. Her name was Cameron Brink. She was a great phenom rookie for the LA Sparks, who obviously didn't have the best season already so far, but she really gave them a spark, for her competitiveness and her willing to, try to lead her team. And unfortunately, she lost a bad injury of losing now to the rest of the season. She tore her ACL, everyone. So prayers up to Cameron Brink. I hope she has a successful, speedy recovery to get back on the court and to compete and dominate the way she did when she first started coming into the league. And, that's just an unfortunate loss. She really was a top pick for reasons, basically. I mean, she had endorsements coming her way. And, a lot of people, of course, would want to talk about other rookies that had made an impact on their teams, but Cameron Brink was one of them as well. So prayers that she has a speedy recovery. But
prayers
of course, moving on to other news, of course, we got to talk about these two women athletes, rookies that have been talked about literally since college level. And we talked about it in the previous episodes, basically, of Up Top Podcast here. And these two ladies, obviously, they have changed the game of the WNBA. We want to go ahead and start off with Miss Caitlin Clark, who was the #1 draft pick. Indiana Fever took her, and their team is obviously still struggling. They are not winning as much games, and clearly Caitlin Clark is not being the best WNBA rookie right now. She's struggling. Not as how she was performing at the college level. She obviously thought that she could transition easily. And a lot of experts and analysis, you name it, was like, hey, she's the next face of the WNBA, but not so fast. Miss Angel Reese decided to say, hey, you want to play me against my team now that I've been drafted to? Who she was, I believe, the top 10 pick as well, and became also a star player for her Chicago Sky team. And they had a nice, interesting battle where they both just went at it, and Angel Reese came out victorious. Her team actually came out victorious. It was an 88-87 victory over the Indiana Fever. and they actually
See?
now have a better record than the Indiana Fever because of what Angel Reese, as well as Camila Cardosa, who also was a top pick, have impacted on their team. So, Spacey, give me your thoughts on these two women athletes. How do you feel about what's been going on as they have now entered from college level to WNBA level?
In my personal opinion here on UpTop Podcast, Angel Reese, Miss AR herself, is going to have a great career because at the end of the day, she is showing everyone that her transition is nothing but extraordinary. She has come in with all of the situations from the rivalry between her and Caitlin Clark, the fact that people aren't really talking about her and her teammates and the other women in the WNBA that are playing their best game of basketball. But it's the simple fact that she's taking everything with a grain of salt. She walks into every media conference. She walks into every game with the mindset that I'm a winner. We may not be doing much winning now, but I will be continuing my own career individually to push myself to hopefully get my team to the championship stage. Now, Caitlin Clark, everybody's trying to put their hope against this girl, and that's a bad idea. Everybody wants her to be a major. Everybody wants her to be this face of the league. In my opinion, is she hasn't won it yet. She's not a
Mm,
champion. So how can she be the best of the best when she can't even break records the way Angel Reese is breaking records right now? So how can we say one player is amazing when they're not doing anything? And then we downplay another player who's actually doing quite phenomenal in her rookie season.
facts, facts. And that is a great point, Spacely. And I think that for those who are WNBA fans, that watch the game, that are witnessing their favorite teams, compete, including the Indiana Fever and also the Chicago Sky. But as you can see right now, Angel Reese has been giving a lot of play right now in the WNBA. She's actually doing way better to me personally than what Caitlin Clark is doing. She's impacting her team.
Lovely.
They actually have a better record, and she has been setting a record with the most career high in double doubles among rookies right now. I believe that she obviously could have been the number one draft pick that the Indiana Fever could
True.
have selected. However, because of Caitlin Clark and what she's done in the college level and breaking phenomenal records, obviously leading her championship team to the to the Final Four, but losing obviously to South Carolina. But still, the fact that they've had this battle between her and Angel Reese when Angel Reese was at LSU, and she defeated obviously her in college this year after Angel Reese defeated her last year. However, the way how it looks right now, it looks like Angel Reese is definitely better in the WNBA level than Caitlin Clark. And for me, it just goes to show you that right now, Angel Reese knows how to play the game of basketball. The
Who's
Las
that?
Vegas
Who's that
A's.
female? Me?
They play the Las
Already.
Vegas Aces this Thursday 7 p.m. and it's gonna be on Prime Video, Amazon Prime Video fans or members. You guys stay tuned. They're going to be playing the Chicago Sky. So that is going to be an interesting matchup, against
Very much.
those women that is actually going to see what Angel Reese as well as Asia Wilson and the rest of them are made of. But Caitlin Clark, who knows? We're gonna just have to see exactly what she's going to do to make this team even better. Right now, she's struggling, and it's showing in her play. She last obviously had 17 points in the last game, but it wasn't enough. Obviously, we're used to the high scoring of Caitlin Clark, but it's still going to take some time for her to adjust, and especially on defense. I feel like that is the missing factor of her game to be a defensive player than just showing off her range and scoring and assisting on the offensive side. So that's how I see about it, Spacey.
I agree with you right there, Steve, because at the end of the day, Caitlin Clark has to show not only that she can win, but she can also be a champion. She's going to go up against the current champions right now. That game is going to cruise everybody. If she cannot beat the Las Vegas Aces, we should not hear anything more about Miss Caitlin Clark. She's going to be a great person.
Facts.
She's going to be a phenomenal player. But as of now, let's stick to who is actually doing what they're doing in the league right now. Let's pay attention
Right.
to who we know is going to not only change the game for the better, but also change the game to let others know that they're here to win. They're here to become champion. I feel like Minnesota can do it.
It's just going to be interesting. And like I said, with the rookie tracker right now, I feel like the person that actually should be rookie of the year is Miss Caitlin Clark. Or if it's not Miss Caitlin Clark, it'll be Miss A. What's your thoughts on that?
You have it right down the list for me. For me, Star, it's definitely going to be injuries coming in first. He's going to fight Caitlin Clark tooth and nail, but she's going to come out on top. Caitlin is going to come in number 2 for sure.
All right. So we want to hear, of course, from you guys here at Up Top Podcast. You know, this is going to be an interesting battle, the next matchup against the Las Vegas Aces. So Chicago Sky,
For sure.
stay tuned. We'll see and witness how these two great women will battle it out. I feel like obviously Angel Reese will have one day an NBA title, WNBA title. Maybe Miss Caitlin Clark may have a WNBA title, but who do you feel should actually take the honors of Rookie of the Year this year? So give us your thoughts, give us your opinions here at Up Top Podcast. You know, this is the championship edition, y'all. So we just want to make sure we see which player can become a champion in our years of watching the WNBA. And it's just going to be very exciting. This season has been very phenomenal. And we definitely, again, got to shout out all the ladies right now that are hooping out there, the ones that we don't even talk about. They are the ones that are
Exactly.
actually continuing to uplift the game and spark the levels of excitement and to see the ratings even grow because of what the game has done for a lot of women as well as young ladies. So shout out to the WNBA on that. So, of course, we
For
want to go
sure.
ahead and give another congratulations. And also, as Post Malone would say, we made it. In the NHL, man, Spacely, I must say, this has been an interesting roller coaster from this team getting to the Stanley Cup in 2023 and unfortunately losing, because that would have been a great way for us to see our native South Florida team win, to now bouncing back this year in 2024, and now we can call them Stanley Cup champions. And it's no other
We get
than,
surrounded.
man, our own South Florida. We are going to go ahead and call them the Cats, the Florida Panthers, everyone.
Home nations everywhere. Home nation, yes, sir. If the Heat don't do it, the Panthers will. That is our motto down here in South Florida. If the
Yes,
Heat can't get it to us right now, cool. We can always get it from the Panthers. Shout out to the Florida
man.
Panthers. I mean,
The Florida Panthers had an amazing Stanley Cup run. For them to actually go ahead and repeat to get to the Stanley Cup this year and to actually beat the Edmonton Oilers in 7 games, ladies and gentlemen, that is a championship level team right there. And I must say, this was unexpected. We didn't expect it to even go to 7 games. I think that, the battle that they had against Edmonton, we saw what it took for them to actually win the first 3 games, but then to lose the next 3 games. And everybody thought, oh man, panic mode. What are the Florida Panthers doing? Like, they're up 3 games into the series, and then you decide to lose 3 straight to tie. And in game 6, we thought, okay, yeah, like they had a chance to just finish it off. But game 7 was the turnout game that every viewer, and even if you're not a hockey fan, you decided to go ahead and say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and tune in because this is an interesting battle. It took 7 games for these two teams to battle it out to become whoever wanted to win it more as NHL champions.
I love them so much right now. Folks don't understand. They did what we thought was impossible, which was to bring a non-cold, non-northern state a championship. Now, no one can say anything to us now. I don't want to hear nothing from nobody's part because we just proved it to everyone that we are the best of the best in a game that was. They even said it going through it. They were like, "Oh, what is the Panthers doing? They're on a hockey team. They don't this and that." Well, like, yeah, that may be right, but he came out, told the Oilers 3-0. We started off 3-0. I'm not gonna lie, it was a roller coaster. 3-0. And then we went 3-3. We're like, okay, Florida, please, we need this. And sure enough, right here in good old Sunrise, Broward County, they delivered at home. Kenya knows what it is that. Shout out to the Florida Panthers for breaking a 30-year drought and bringing home a championship to good old South Florida. Shout out to you guys.
Definitely shout them out. And, again, for them to, redeem themselves, basically, it's a true testament of what a championship team is made of. Because, again, we said it in the previous segment with the Boston Celtics did 2 years ago. They actually went to the NBA Finals and took that loss as a learning experience. And they said, all right, we're going to continue to find ways to make moves, get the right pieces to go ahead and get back to where we need to be. And that is to be able to become champions this year. They did not hesitate at all. The Panthers had that mindset that they were the best team, even though Edmonton said, hey, we may have a chance to come back and make history of being down 3-0. So for what the Florida Panthers did, man, they literally gave us an exciting Stanley Cup Game 7 finals run. And that was, to me, one of the best hockey games that I've watched. I've been to a hockey game before, and it's one of the best experiences ever. Yes. So for those who actually are Panthers fans, it's a sigh of relief. 30 years it took for them to actually get a Stanley Cup, and to keep it, of course, in Florida is even more sweeter. I know the Tampa Bay Lightning have won previous years, but obviously, now the Florida Panthers being a hockey state per se, it goes to show you that we are definitely on the rise, and a lot of hockey fans are now showing that, hey, we want to support this team even better. So they're going to actually have their parade. I believe it's this Sunday, spacely, and for those who actually are going to be able to take the time to go celebrate with the Panthers. It's going to be here, right here in our city of Fort Lauderdale. Stay hydrated. I know it might be a hot day, or who knows, hopefully the weather clears up, but it's going to be a lot of hockey fans, a lot of Panther fans, and a lot of South Florida fans that are just very happy that we have actually gotten a championship again down here in Broward County, as we're down here in Fort Lauderdale. So, Up Top Podcast, we are going to definitely give you guys all the feedback. We'll be there in attendance to make sure that, we represent Up Top, and to let everyone know that, hey, the Florida Panthers are the real deal here. And that is very important. We want to make sure at the end of the day, here at Up Top Podcast, we continue to always support our local home teams, no matter what. Again, this inspires all the other teams that are in South Florida to this day to make sure that, hey, we can get to their level as well, regardless of what they experienced last year. And we had a great experience of the South Florida sports run last year. This is actually a more sweeter victory for all of us that are fans. and to make sure that here at Up Top, we continue to show you guys exactly what celebrations are made of and what champions are made of. So look out for us in the parade. Shout us out if you can. And you might see us definitely more in details here at Up Top. So we definitely want to go ahead and make sure that at the end of the day, you guys stay tuned to the latest.
6 Champions Edition, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Championship edition it is. It's your boy Simo.
And it's your boy Sean Spacely.
All right. Thank you guys for coming to listen to that last segment of Up Top Podcast here, episode 6, Championship Edition. And we definitely appreciate all the feedback. And we just wanted to make sure we get your feedback as well. Let us know your thoughts on, of course, the last WNBA segment, who should win Rookie of the Year, whether it's Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, or someone else. You give us your thoughts and feedback. But we can't end our episode without giving our motivational quote. And, this is the championship edition, basically. I mean, we have to always respect the greats, for those who actually have paved the way to be champions in any sport whatsoever. And, here at Up Top Podcast, we want to make sure we have, of course, give you guys some good inspirational words, some words of wisdom, some words to give you guys the next step to where your greatness lies. It may not be in the sport, but it may be in life, in anything that you do, your career, being even successful at anything you do and what you put your mind to, including our podcast here. We are always keeping inspiration to the top. So I want to go ahead and start with my motivational quote. And this one was a quote that was actually meaning a lot to not only myself, but I'm sure to the world out there when they actually decided to say this. They said champions are not the ones who always wins races. Champions are the ones who get out there and try harder the next time, and even harder the next time. Champion is a state of mind. They are devoted. They compete to best themselves as much, if not more than they compete to best others. NBA champions.
Right.
I mean, man, it's just going to be a championship mindset. So I hope you guys take heed into that quote.
That was a powerful quote, Steve. I'll say that right now. Mine was pretty simple, but I feel like it's talking for a championship mindset as well too. Mine comes from Mr. Nelson Mandela. It says, "It always seems impossible until it's done." I feel like that's every champion, every player, every athlete until they reach the top. That's always their mindset. It seems impossible until you get it done. Because once it's done, there's nothing more that can be said. It's no longer possible. We've accomplished what others think we shouldn't have or couldn't have done. So like you said, everything seems impossible until it gets done.
Wise words. Definitely from the great Miss Nelson Mandela. And I appreciate you for sharing that as well, Spacey. For those especially that are listening or watching us, we always want to make sure that we give you the great motivational quote that can help you go throughout your day, your week, your month, or even your year, for you to be able to stay inspired, to always know that Up Top was set, and making sure that at the end of the day, you know exactly, again, it doesn't have to be a sport. It can be anything that you put your mind to become a champion, like how we see and we were witnessing in sports today. So definitely appreciate you actually with that motivational quote, Space. So we just want to go ahead and end this episode with the segments here that we've actually ended, but with shout outs. And shout out is obviously something that we always want to make sure that you guys take the time to do. So first and foremost, we want to shout out all our fans, Up Top Bisset, Up Top guests that we have been on our podcast. Well, we want to start off first and foremost, shout out Mr. Kamar with Kamar Kaj Media Group. Yes, definitely. We want to give you your flowers as well, man, for always keeping us up to date with obviously the latest news, reels, and creativity that he always has to keep our podcast uplifting for those who actually would like to see the vision come to life and what the words that we say. So shout out to Kaj Media Group. I want to give out a shout out to first and foremost, my Lord and Savior. I always want to give him the most high respect to continue to bless us to be able to be on this platform and to share our content and feedback to you guys. I want to shout out to my family, my wife to be, of course. I want to make sure to shout out, of course, everyone that has taken the time to always support, appreciate the feedback from us. And then, of course, making sure that we always remember that you are always going to continue to inspire us. So we're going to continue to inspire you. So definitely want to give you guys a shout out, all those who just take the time to appreciate what we do. But of course, yeah, those are my shout outs. And of course, shout out to those who actually definitely gave the feedback on us from the last episode as well, in episode 5. So definitely shout out to you guys. Stay tuned to, of course, more to come. Yes, sir. Tsunami, shout you out. Yes, yes, definitely up top. We'll always support, for those who actually support us as well. We definitely want to make sure to also rep, our UpTop gear. Stay tuned. For those who actually have rep our UpTop apparel, you see the jumpsuits, you see what we wearing, and stay tuned for more apparel to come. For those who actually like to support us, let us know in the comments, feedback, or give us a message. Hey, you like to rock our brand. We love to definitely go ahead and make sure you guys rock some UpTop gear. Anywhere you go in the world, they know say UpTop Podcast is here. And we appreciate for those who actually take the time to wear our gear as well. So shout out to y'all as well. But of course, we want to shout out for also last but not least, Mr. Morale and the Big Stepper himself. And that is Mr. K. Dot. I heard it was his birthday the other day, and shout out to all the Geminis. Now I heard it's cancer season, but shout out to all the Geminis that actually celebrated, of course, my birthday as well. And for those who actually were Geminis as well, it's y'all season. Of course, now it's cancer season, so shout out to y'all as well. But Mr. Kendrick Lamar, Mr. K. Dot, Mr. West Coast himself. If y'all actually got to watch that Amazon Prime Video performance, y'all will know that was a championship performance. And it's crazy. This is episode 6, basically, but he performed it 6 times from what I heard. I believe 5 times, and then the 6th was the instrumental to walk out. But from what he actually did from beginning of performance to the end of the performance, championship level right there. I mean, to bring all sides of the West Coast together, you name it. And we don't even have to name it. You just have to see it for yourself for those who haven't even watched his performance. It's on probably YouTube. It's on Prime Video, but it's everywhere. It's really everywhere. And Not Like Us is one of the most diss tracks, but it's one of the most greatest tracks that Kendrick has completed in his career, and it's implemented now as one of the best that he actually has stamped. Now I heard a video will be dropping soon, so again, we want to give a shout out to K. Dot, Kendrick Lamar, for a phenomenal Prime Video performance for the West Coast, and for those who also listened or watched, that was just amazing, and it goes to show you that they are not like us, basically, here at UpTop. What? Yes. So we definitely want to go ahead and thank you guys for taking the time to listen to UpTop Podcast here, episode 6. Man, season 4. It's been a pleasure, basically. Like, we're almost to the end of season 4, so we have so much more in store here, here at UpTop Podcast. please follow us on all social media platforms. We really appreciate the support, the love, and the feedback. Follow us on Instagram at UpTop Podcast. We are also on Facebook at UpTop Podcast or UpTop Sports Podcast. You can also follow us on YouTube. We're also on there at UpTop Podcast. Stay tuned. We have so much more to finish off season 4. We know with the more breaking news, the more latest feedback. Please follow us again on all social media platforms. My full social media platform is I Know Steamo. Well, stay tuned. Of course, we will go ahead and make sure we give you guys some feedback of the parade with the Florida Panthers. Now winning the Stanley Cup, but we want to make sure again you always stay tuned to the hearing us with all the latest news, feedback, predictions, anything that we actually come up with. And if you guys have any topics that you would like to give us, share with us in the comments, share it below, subscribe to us again. We appreciate it again. Follow us on all social media platforms. And we want to continue to take it to the top. Up top, we said. So this is your boy Steamo, Up Top Podcast, episode 6, season 4, championship edition.